Welcome. In this video, we'll guide you through the complete setup of your water chiller. We'll cover everything from unboxing to cleaning and maintenance to ensure you have a seamless experience. Let's go step by step and take our time so you can follow along without any rush. First, unpack your water chiller and place it on a flat, stable surface that can support up to 700 pounds. Make sure to set the IcePod up near a GFCI outlet for safety, but don't plug it in just yet. For the best performance, try to place the chiller in the shade or under cover if possible. While it's designed for outdoor use and is water resistant, keeping it out of the direct sunlight and harsh weather will help extend its lifespan. Before you begin setup, it's crucial to let the chiller stand upright for 3 to 4 hours to allow the internal fluids to settle after transport. This prevents malfunctions. Let's check what comes in the box. 1 water chiller unit, a 9-foot power cable with a safety button, a water filter and pump unit, hoses of different sizes with pre-installed insulation, fittings, gaskets, and lastly, hose clamps. Before setting up your chiller, ensure your IcePod valves are in the closed position and fill it with water. The simplest method is to use a garden hose and make sure the water level is around or above the second valve on the IcePod. Now that your IcePod is filled, it's time to connect the hoses. If you're using our normal chiller system, keep watching for step-by-step instructions on how to set it up. Let's begin by setting up the hoses and ensuring all connections are secure to avoid leaks. Step 1. Start by carefully pressing the first hose onto the water filter. Hold the back of the filter/pump unit gently to prevent damage from the pressure as you attach the hose. Step 2. Once the hose is securely connected, position the filter and pump unit on the side of the chiller for stability. Make sure that all 3 hoses have the insulation on to ensure the system operates at its optimal performance. Step 3. Place the white rubber rings onto the blue outlets on top of the chiller. These rings are crucial for creating a watertight seal. Step 4. Attach the 2 hoses with L-shaped fittings to the chiller's inlet and outlet points where you just placed the rubber rings. Step 5. Screw the short hose onto the filter unit by connecting it to the remaining threaded port. Ensure it's tight to prevent leaks. Now that everything is connected to the chiller, you should be left with 2 hoses, both with black fittings at the ends. Start by attaching the shortest hose into the lowest placed valve on the side of the IcePod. Next, take the longest hose and attach it to the highest placed valve on the IcePod. With both hoses connected, your setup is now complete. Now that everything is connected, we're ready to let the water flow through the system. Start by opening both IcePod valves and then open the air release valve located on top of the filter canister to release any trapped air. Keep the air release valve open until water starts spurting out, indicating that the filter is full. Once that happens, close the valve to prevent air pockets. Always make sure the filter canister is filled with water when closing the valve. It's normal for the water level to drop slightly over time. Then you take the cord connected to the filter and plug it into the back of the chiller. Now that your setup is complete and water is in the system, it's time to power on the chiller safely. Begin by ensuring the red on and off button is in the off position. Plug the chiller into a GFCI outlet, then press the built-in safety button on the power cord to activate the unit. The power cord for both models is 9 feet long, giving you flexibility in placement. If you need to use an extension cord, ensure it is at least an 18 gauge and rated for 15 amps to avoid electrical issues. For users outside the US, always use the original power cord along with a suitable voltage adapter. Never plug the unit directly into an outlet without an adapter, as this could cause permanent damage. To keep your chiller running efficiently, maintain at least 15 inches of clearance around the chiller for proper airflow. Always place the chiller directly on the ground, never in an elevated surface or too close to a wall. This ensures optimal water circulation. The chiller must remain at the same level as your IcePod or lower for the system to function correctly. With everything in place and double checked, your chiller is now ready to be powered on in the next step. With the chiller plugged in and positioned correctly, It's time to turn it on and set to your desired temperature. Once the chiller is powered on, you'll see the display light up and you're ready to set your desired temperature. Start by pressing the Set button once to activate the temperature adjustment mode. Use the arrow buttons to adjust the temperature to your preferred setting. Press RST once to confirm your selection. Your chiller is now up and running, but let's talk about the F1 setting, which plays a crucial role in controlling how frequently the compressor activates. By default, F1 is set to +3 Fahrenheit, meaning the chiller will wait for a 3-degree increase in temperature before it starts cooling again. While this setting can be adjusted, finding the right balance is key. Setting F1 too low will cause the compressor to run non-stop, which can lead to unnecessary wear and tear. Setting F1 too high may delay the compressor from activating, leaving your water warmer than desired. For efficient cooling and to maintain the correct temperature, we recommend keeping F1 at the default setting unless you have a specific reason to modify it. Your water is now flowing through the system, and you'll notice the temperature dropping on the chiller's display. To speed up the cooling process and reduce the workload on your chiller, we recommend using our insulated lid and cover set. Not only will this help your water cool much faster, but it also keeps the water cooler for longer, prevents condensation, and adds a child-proof layer of safety. We also recommend using our circulation jet as it makes the water feel even colder, which allows you to save on electricity by not having to set the temperature as low. With the lid and cover set installed, your IcePod is optimized for efficiency and convenience. And don't forget, leave your chiller running until it reaches your desired temperature for the best results. The chiller will now show the current water temperature and will begin cooling down to the set temperature. You should hear the chiller's compressor start after around 2 to 5 minutes. Please allow 1 hour for the temperature to start dropping as the chiller requires some time to start cooling. Depending on the initial water temperature, your chiller version, and how hot it is where you live, the water should be at the set temperature within 5 to 15 hours. To keep your chiller running smoothly, we recommend cleaning the filter every 7 to 10 days. Start by turning off the chiller, closing both valves on the IcePod, and placing a towel nearby to catch any excess water, especially if you're using it indoors. Then, remove the filter by unscrewing the filter canister counterclockwise. Once removed, rinse the filter with water using a brush or hose to clear out any dirt. After rinsing, simply reinstall the filter and tighten the housing. If it's been more than 30 days or the filter shows signs of wear, it's time to replace it. To do so, start by draining the IcePod completely. You can drain the pod in 3 different ways, with our 3-foot hose, our 9-foot hose, or our 25-foot hose, and lastly, our Bilge Pump. To use our Bilge Pump, you simply plug it in to the back of your chiller. If you don't have the chiller, the Bilge Pump comes with another power cord that you plug it into and then plug it into an outlet. And then put the pump into your pod and it'll begin pumping the water and you can drain it through this hose. Right now I don't have water in the tub, but if there was, water would be sucked up from the pump and coming out this end, and you can drain it wherever you need. Close both valves and disconnect the hose from the lowest drain valve. Attach the included 3-foot drain hose or the extended 9-foot hose to drain the water. Gently lift the IcePod from the opposite side of the valves to let the remaining water drain out. After draining, follow the same steps to remove the filter as we showed earlier. Dispose of the old filter and install the new one. Once the new filter is in place, hand tighten the housing and follow the setup steps to restart the chiller and ensure it's circulating properly. To help extend the time between filter and water changes, we highly recommend subscribing to our chiller maintenance pack. This 4-month supply includes 4 replacement filters, 4 water stabilizers, 2 cleansers, and some antibacterial cleaning pads. By adding just 2 ounces of stabilizer each week, you can keep your water and filter in top condition for up to 40 to 45 days, preventing scum and algae buildup while working in harmony with the filter for optimal results. If you notice small leaks during setup or after cleaning, simply apply the Teflon tape or use the hose clamps. Just apply a few wraps of the tape to the different connection threads. Typically 2 to 3 will do, as adding too much can cause problems instead of fixing them. Remember, Teflon tape is only for minor leaks, and the hose clamps can be used to tighten the hoses if needed. To prepare your chiller for storage, start by draining all water from the IcePod, hoses, and chiller. Tilt the chiller slightly to one side to remove any remaining water. Once everything is dry, store your chiller and accessories in a cool, dry place. Now this is important. The chiller is designed to cool water and can't heat water up, so it should not be used if temperatures drop below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, as internal components could freeze and break. Instead, rely on the natural cold temperatures and our extra accessories to keep your IcePod ready for use during winter. For added protection, we recommend using the insulated lid and cover set, which we mentioned earlier. Lastly, we highly recommend to use our water circulation jet to keep the water moving and prevent freezing during winter. This jet is also perfect for summer use, as it eliminates the thermal barrier and makes the water feel even colder. And that's it. Your water chiller is now fully set up. For further assistance, visit our help center where you can find detailed guides, live chat, and phone support. Thank you for choosing Pod Company.